Hey Pisces, this one's for you. Pisces, this is Tarot Illumination, okay? With your May 2017 general report, okay? This is just a big generic thing. And please read for your moon and your rising and then squish it all together into one full comprehension. That's really the only way you can do this stuff, okay? What else I was going to say is that a lot of stuff is happening right now. And big changes are on their way coming into May. Just doing these reports, it's all happening on a series of cusps, a lot of cusps, which is just like a lot of shifts in weather and energy, all happening at once, simultaneously. The sun just moved into Taurus. Mercury just moved into Aries. Venus just went direct. Mars is turning into Gemini. Pluto is turning stationary retrograde. That's all happening right now. You still got Jupiter and Saturn retrograde. Saturn just started. So excuse me, hold on. I just want to bless the cards here. Like, clear that out. Okay. So, I did a lot of shuffling, but I'm going to keep going to make sure everything's really crystal clear. Okay? As clear as it can be. So, with this Leo North Node stuff, also please watch those reports because this is starting right now in May, okay? And also please watch the Saturn retrograde reports because that's just started and it's going to go through all summer. So you might as well get yourself as armed and well prepared as possible to live through these new conditions that are unfolding. With the Leo North Node energy, it's about kind of getting on this new evolutionary magical mystery bus trip with the rest of us. And you're going to be invited to shine, take center stage, and be the star, Pisces, in your world. Now, Pisces, you're already very connected with creativity and divine inspiration and spirit and all that, and art and heaven and music and all that beautiful stuff. So whatever you got, pull it out of the box and show us what you got, okay? We want to know. With the big fat fire trine, all that fire energy, from my perspective, the key point is the Saturn in Sagittarius hot spot for you, which would be affecting your career. So if you're getting all sorts of like action replay moments in career aspects, or like at school or your public persona, how the public perceives you in your position of responsibilities and how you conduct yourself in the world, then it's going to be a sensation of action replays, or maybe karmic justice, or thank God it's all starting to work out, or maybe it's a big cleanup campaign. The truth police are shining down very, very hard on that part of your life. So if you've been struggling with career issues, then you may have a chance to discover what needs fixing, okay? So treat the truth police as your friends, okay? The other thing is that the Saturn, uh, let me just get the chart, hold on. The Saturn in Sagittarius thing is also still in a very hard square with Chiron in Pisces, and right now, at this moment, with Venus just around the same degree. So it could feel that the truth police are shining a very bright light on some very, very deeply hidden aspects of your nature that you may or may not be aware of, that have been hidden or lost or buried for a long time. Total denial that is like almost like a deeply bedded virus system that's very hard to disinfect. And you've been wondering why certain aspects of your life may not be working out properly, and you still haven't figured it out. Well, this is your chance, okay? The Saturn in Sagittarius retrograde is the chance, because it's shining a lot of light on Pisces, okay? It's retrograde right on Pisces. So Pisces, part of that Neptune 12th house energy is you can be the cause of your own self-undoing. in very, very subtle, extremely hard to manage ways that even baffle the rest of us. So, that needs to stop. In other words, what kind of self-defeating patterns are going on that need to be exposed and dealt with? And maybe turn that into a show. Turn it into live theater, okay? Something like that. All right? So, let me just check one thing about Leo. Hold on. Because Leo is going to be coming into your, okay, the Leo energy, which is part of that big fat fire trine. Okay, let me find the Pisces right here, okay? Oh, I was talking, yeah, it's coming in, it's going to be starting to move into this part of your life over here, which is all about health and healing in your daily practices, all right? So you might discover, like, how have I been doing things for myself? And how can I do like a live theater performance on the bus with the rest of you guys? Because you're on the same bus with the rest of us for this Leo North Node journey. How can you, Pisces, take center stage and give us an improv, kind of like a little show about, what you've learned and how to clean things up, how to go to do deep cleaning of the spirit, of the soul, and to discover and uncover all the mysterious, very, very phony, hard to understand, fake beliefs and virus systems that might be undermining you, okay? Affecting your day-to-day life, your value, your sense of self-worth, your sense of being appreciated and valued by others, okay? Of loving yourself, okay? That's like Aries in the second house energy, okay? So anyway, enough of that. I'm just going to put that aside. We're just going to do the reading, okay? I'm getting too complicated here. All right, let's just do it. Sorry, I talk too much sometimes. Man, I get carried away. I'm trying to do a simple tarot reading for you, okay, Pisces? I'm trying to just give you some illumination so you can conduct your life. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Here we are. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a big fat one of these, and one of these, and one of these. All right. It's the same format as everybody else, all right? You're getting the same thing. So, here's the general vibe, all right? Here's where you're coming from. Here's where things are, like kind of right now, whenever you watch this. Here's where things are heading. At this point, you're already facing into the unknown. You're kind of stepping onto the bus for May, getting on the same bus with the rest of us, and we don't know where it's all going to head because it's a whole new vibe of energy opening up for all of us, okay? Especially the Leo North Node thing, where we are going to be asked to shine, okay? Like be creative, be adventurous, be daring, be bold, step into the light, be willing to be appreciated and applauded, okay? And radiate that sort of Leo type energy, which might feel very strange to you, Pisces. Sometimes, Pisces, you can be very, very shy, okay? So what's a good way to move forward with all of that, to actually do it? And what's coming at you now that you've like stepped onto the bus and you're on the same road trip with the rest of us? And what could be scary for you, and what could you be wishing for? And where does it look like it's all heading? And meanwhile, either just getting on the bus or while you're on the bus and you're looking outside, what's the weather like for this journey for May? Well, it's good. It's like you're evaluating the full spectrum of weather because it's got a bit of everything, okay? And a lot of it is to do with self-evaluation. It's almost like the weather is neutral here, and it's just calm and serene, which allows you a good chance to like take full stock of your life, where you've been coming from for all this time. Because we've just lived, Pisces, we've just lived through over a year and a half the Pisces Virgo North Node axis, okay, where a lot of tough energy, especially the Saturn energy, has been pounding on you so hard. Like, clean it up, Pisces. Clean up all the self-undoing. Clean up all the misperceptions, the misunderstandings, the lies, the truth, everything that's bogus and fake in your life, one way or another, whether it's your fault or whether it's been done to you. The truth police are there for your benefit, okay? And with this situation here, and with the prevailing weather, you're in a position now where you can really take stock of who you are, where you've been coming from, and where you're going. Okay, and that's good. That's good anchoring solid energy, because sometimes it's very hard for Pisces to feel grounded here. You've got very diffuse energy. It's the energy of Neptune. How do you hold on to fog? How do you hold on to dreams? How do you hold on to spirit? Okay, well, we're asking you, Pisces, to show us. Okay, so what's the vibe here? Okay, the truth of the matter. Okay, it might require a little bit of being a whistleblower. It's almost like you're being called upon to be the whistleblower in your own life, okay? And it's almost like a declaration, or it's almost like a confession, like, okay, everybody, I'm just letting you know I'm going to step on stage when it's my turn, and you've all had your shot, and I might be the last one to step up and do this. But when I do my live improv thing, and I put myself center stage of my life, and I'm going to be expected to shine and radiate Pisces, the real me, it might come across to you as a confession. Okay? It might be a very modest, simple, like a little show, like an improv solo show where there's almost no props, nothing going on. You're just standing there virtually naked on stage, just telling it how it is. Like, I did this, I did that, I did that, I did that. The consequence was that, and that, and that. And look where it got me. I'm still here, people. But it's almost like being a storyteller in a very simple way, a very pure way, calling out the truth, telling the truth as it has been just revealed to you, and then sharing that with everybody else. It's like listening to one of those, what do they call that radio show where they have the people who tell stories? It's very intimate. It's very powerful. I think it's on that public radio station. I haven't heard it in many years, but I know I think, anyway, the whole point, it's like storytelling and the truth of the matter. And everybody sits there riveted, listening to the revelations and the confessions about how you discovered what doesn't work and how deeply flawed your perceptions may have been, and how that got you in a pickle here and there, and that led to a drama here and there. But it's okay. You've come out the other side, and you're now willing to call it out for the rest of us, so that the rest of us don't end up in quicksand, okay? Because that's what it is. The shadow side of Pisces energy is like quicksand. It's almost harder to handle than the shadow side of Pluto energy. It's serious, because with Pluto energy, there's no ambiguity. It's just raw power. Like, if someone says, you know what, fuck you. I don't like you, so F off. There's no ambiguity there. Or if the Pluto energy says, I don't want to deal with that anymore. The way I'm going to solve this problem is I'm just going to obliterate you from my life. And I'm not even going to bother to explain why. And I'm going to let you squirm and torture there, because I don't give a crap. I'm just moving on. But with Pisces, it could be like, oh, I love you so much, and it's been so beautiful. I gotta go. I have an appointment. And they're going off schmoozing with someone else, making out, cheating or whatever, and thinking it's just perfectly okay. And then all of a sudden, the whole shitstorm backfires on you when the deception is exposed, okay? Now, that's not cool. It might have seemed cool while it was happening, but the truth is that betrayal, treachery, lies, deception, falsehoods, mistruth, even just foggy truth can be very damaging to yourself and to others, all right? So where are you coming from? Look at this, is the freaking happiness card again. Where is this coming from, everybody? It might be, dear Pisces, that deep, deep, deep down in your pockets, you're carrying a buttload of happiness with you because you've kindly sort of come to the realization of how you can be the master of your own self-undoing. And just in that realization, that brings true joy, because now that you know how you can undermine yourself and you can confess it to us and others, and how you can help us stop us from betraying ourselves and others, that can be a source of great joy and happiness, because it's not like buckets of happiness coming to you. It's the buckets of happiness that occur when you remove all the sources of unhappiness, if that makes any sense to you, okay? Gosh, that sounded weird, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to convey. In other words, like, happiness can come from cleaning out the crap, okay? Clean up this, clean up that, clean up that, clean up this, clean it all up, and guess what you're left with? A beautiful, shiny nugget of gold, okay? This little nugget of gold may have been surrounded in acres and acres of garbage and crap, eons, lifetimes of crap, and then just by gently chipping away and digging at all the misperceptions and fog and illusions that covered it all up, you discover there's a little gem at the very core, and you get to show this to the rest of the world, and now we get to understand, okay? And what I'm trying to do is convey here is that that is happiness, tapping into your gold by removing the crap. It's not by just saying, oh, here's the gold. It's just like the gold is there, but gold by definition is extremely hard to extract. But the beautiful thing about gold is that once it is extracted, it's almost impervious to any kind of corruption or perversion. Gold is an amazing substance. It's very unique, unlike almost any other element on the planet. So where are you right now? Coming to terms with all of this. Coming to terms with it in a very, very passionate way, in a very gentle but very, very strong way. This is the Queen of Wands. So she didn't get here just by being a little prissy wuss. This is very powerful, passionate energy, and you might discover through this profoundly beautiful happiness that you may be coming into awakening, and bringing it forward and sharing with us, that you might become very passionate about describing and sharing and inspiring this energy to us, so that we understand how we undermine ourselves and how we cripple ourselves just the way that you might have done. And you are here to vibrantly display and inspire us in ways to overcome this. In other words, stick to the truth, be honest, be a brilliant light and shine for others. In fact, that's kind of a theme that's going to happen here with the Leo North Node. By being willing to open up and really tell the truth of what's actually going on with you, Pisces, and you do it in full radiance under full spotlight, you become a really, really powerful inspiration for the rest of us. And I happen to know a Piscean person who is kind of living through this exact scenario right now. And it's almost staggeringly, profoundly, hysterically puzzling and surprising for this person, because they're starting to realize how gifted they are and how much they have to share, and they're working a fraction of the amount of the work for the same amount of money or more, and they are highly loved and appreciated, and they're kind of in a spotlight position. So this is awesome, Pisces. It's almost like by willing to step onto center stage in a very, very, very pure and simple manner, it becomes a very, very radiant experience for the rest of us, even though it's almost like there's no props on stage. It's just like you taking center stage, and it's just about you, and you're radiating the truth. And just watch what that does. It's a mind-boggling phenomenon. So where are you headed with all of this? Because it's a new journey. Whoa! Sense of full completion. And you know what? This is all to do, I believe this is all to do with this huge 19-year-old cycle we've just had with the North Node and the South Node journey with Pisces and Virgo. We've had every other axis for the last 19 years, and we just finished the Pisces Virgo axis. So it's done. It's done. You did an incredible job, and all the ineffective, redundant, obsolete Piscean behaviors of self-undoing have been exposed and understood to the maximum level possible right now at this point in your evolution. And the energy of heaven, the will of heaven is surrounding you, supporting you, and telling you it's okay to start all over again, but you're going to be starting from a whole higher level of vibration than you ever knew existed before. And you deserve it, dear Pisces, because in many ways you've been through hell, possibly more hell than the rest of us put together. Okay? So this is beautiful. It's the completion of an epic 19-year journey. Even if you're 19 years old or 20 years old and you're watching this, this might be your first loop through the North Node cycles, which follow the eclipse cycles. So, but guess what with this? You get to start all over again. That's epic. Starting all over again. Another 19-year cycle is starting right now for you. Right now in May. Okay, that's kind of a big deal. So how are you going to deal with this new epic journey going ahead? You're going to be more Piscean than you ever have known before. You're going to just flabbergast with yourself with the new Pisces that you are, okay? The higher, the spiritual knowledge, the spiritual awakening, the spiritual abundance that you have now, having removed all the crap and discovered this little essence at the core. This is now like nuclear rocket fuel for the next 20 years of your evolution, because this is kind of like very Piscean energy in its own right. And you get to be this. This is the high priestess. And she knows an awful, awful, awful lot, but you could hardly tell by looking at her because she's so serene and calm. But she doesn't have to go brag about it. However, with this Leo North Node, you have an excuse for the next year or so to brag about it, to be a very, very shiny, shiny center stage Piscean. And that's okay, because the lights will change and the stage will change on the next cycle. But for right now, in order to evolve, the best thing to do is to step on center stage the way that I was feeling it. This is just personal. Is almost no props, nothing. It's just you standing right there on center stage, just being you, no matter how wobbly it gets, as you open up to the truth and disclose the truth to the rest of us, and you inspire us along the way. It's almost like becoming super Pisces. Okay, rockstar Pisces. However you do that, I don't know. You know, I don't. I'm just your reader, okay? But deep inside, you know, all right? It's like the next level evolution. It's like those, generations old, intensely popular worldwide hit TV series is about space age stuff or whatever, and all of a sudden, 20 years later, a whole new generation of the same stuff comes out again, but it's the super advanced version. So that's what this is all about. Wow. Phew. Epic stuff, Pisces. So what's coming your way? Wow. It's kind of very simple in a way. It's just like, oh, wow. I didn't know I could be all that. Really? So, in other words, as you so boldly and courageously and inspirationally step onto center stage and become the super Pisces, and you came from a position of extreme modesty and humility and almost invisibility, and you suddenly go through all of this and you turn into this, And everyone's looking at you like you might be, almost pretend, again, here's this analogy. You're standing on the seat of your bus, your seat in the bus with the rest of us, and you do your little show and tell with almost no props, but it has this mind-bogglingly profound impact on the rest of us. And we kind of all go, oh my God, wow, wow. And the applause gets louder and louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. And then there's you looking around like, there's you still on the stage, looking around like going, really? Really? Seriously? And we're all going, yeah, yeah, seriously, Pisces. I mean, really? I mean, I was just, I was just going to tell you a couple of stories, but seriously, yeah, Pisces, thank you so, so much. And so what you're facing is on this whole new epic journey where you're starting all over again and becoming the next evolution, Pisces, is an awakening to your true values. Okay, what's really, really important in life? Okay, what you thought was important was obviously corrupted, and it's gone, and it's being swept away, and it's going to be cleaned up, and you get to start all over again. You're going to start all over again with this new Super Pisces, and you're going to figure it all out over the next 19 and a half years or whatever, and you're going to do all this again, okay? But you got to start from scratch, okay? That's kind of what I'm feeling from here, is a whole new cycle of evaluation and comprehension and understanding is going to come into being, where you take all that amazing Pisces nebulous energy and you bring it down to earth in a very tangible way, which would be the Virgo North Node energy, and bringing it back to us, this same story 19 and a half years from now, and say, by the way, people, guess what I just figured out? This is how it works. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. And this is how things actually work. And if you do it in a very simple step-by-step manner, just like I was trying to indicate how I would have, could have, wish I could have done, but I didn't, but I still survived anyway, then I'm just letting you know that there's a way to make it happen. And it's very simple. You just clean up your act as you go along. You don't shove all your shit in a drawer and wait for it to ferment and explode. All right? So what's the hopes and fears here? Okay, it might feel a little bit wobbly because, okay, even though you're accepting your role as turning into the new Super Pisces, it's still possibly a lot of stage fright because, again, you're kind of heading into the unknown, okay? And it might feel like you're being hazed. You're not being hazed. You're on the same bus with the rest of us, and it's a little bit scary for all of us, okay? So if you're scared about this new evolutionary step, it's okay, because we're all feeling this too. It's no big deal. We're all here together, okay? And we're going to live through it all together, however wobbly and scary it might be at moments in time. Because at times we're going to be driving through the dark. We're going to be driving through heavy storms. We're going to be driving through deserts. We're going to be driving through floods and hurricanes and lightnings and tornadoes and drought. All of that. But we're going to keep going. It's an epic journey. And sometimes the only thing that gets us through is just like belief in the unknown, trusting in our intuition, okay? Where we all might have to huddle together and take care of each other and nurture each other, okay? Even though it might feel a little bit weird getting that cozy, all right? Anyway, where's it all leading? Okay, it's work. It's work. Okay. So maybe it's just working out in such a way that you can like define it as work. In other words, it's like pretend you're a computer, and instead of always just keeping all your pages and sites and what do they call those things? The programs open all simultaneously, and everything just gets more and more and more gooped up with more and more viruses and garbage and goop. Instead, you turn it into an act of eternal vigilance. You always chipping it away. You're always working at it. So that instead of like another 20 years of goop piling up around this, you keep it clean as you go along. You adopt that newly discovered Virgo energy of clean it up as you go along. So you are like your own antivirus system, okay? And you're working at it all the time. And this is going around in the background like hardly anybody knows that you're doing it, but you're doing it. You're working really, really hard, but not exhausting yourself, but very, very diligently, like eternal vigilance. 24/7, 365 vigilance on keeping it together, keeping your act clean. It's like, you have those, what do they call them, those cloud antiviral systems? It's like you've got your own built-in system now, and it's like a self-cleaning system as you go along, so you don't end up having to come back with an awful lot of infected viral like behavior patterns and attitudes and beliefs that are ultimately self-destructive. Okay? So awesome, 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 Pisces. What a wonderful journey. Thank you for sharing all this with us. I look forward to being on the bus with you too. All right? So have a wonderful May, because we're all on the same bus together, and it's departing at the very beginning of May. Welcome. Reinterpret at will. Watch your sun, moon, and rising. Thank you, everybody, for visiting. I love doing this for you. Hang in.